In this video, I want to demonstrate the use of subqueries because at this point you've learned everything there is to know about basic SQL, right? We've done select, from, where, group by, having, order by. So that basically is all the major clauses that we use in SQL. And so now what we're going to end up doing is using one query inside of another. So an example that we looked at briefly was I want to find the title of the book or books that have that max retail price. So of course the max retail price is $89.95, but I don't know the title. So I mentioned in the previous video, a lot of times students will put the title right here. Well then of course if you don't use a group by, you end up getting a wrong answer. It's basically the last book in the list combined with the max retail. But of course if you put the group by, well, you're grouping by title, which in our database is unique, and so that doesn't do you any good either. You're just basically get a list of every book, and within the group of one book, what is the max retail? Well, it's just the price of the book, okay? Now, there is one other trick. I'll go ahead and mention this. We haven't learned about the limit and command, and in this case, it's limit. In SQL Server, there's something called top. But basically, what this does is say, only show me one row. Well, if you take a look at the title and the retail and you order it descending, the first row will be the highest price. So when I run that, there it is. There's our book. The one problem with this solution is there could be multiple books with that high price, right? There's no rule that says the highest price book only has to be one book. So then, of course, well, now what should the limit be? Should it be 1? Should it be 2? How many books has that price of $89.95? In this database, it does happen to only be one book, and so this does solve the problem of giving me the title and the price of the highest price book. Limit 1. But you could see it has limitations. I could have 4, 5, 10 books with that price, and I wouldn't know what number to put here for my limit. So how do we solve the problem using subqueries? Well, basically right here, I know what is the highest price. It's $89.95. And so what I'm going to do is say, show me the title and the price of books where the price, the retail price, equals $89.95. So basically, I could just type $89.95 here and comment this out. And that's going to solve the problem. But of course, as your database is kind of a living structure with data coming in, possibly data going out, that price might change. And so I don't want to what's called hard code the $89.95. I am going to have a query that finds, as of today, what is our highest price. And now this query says, show me all the books that have that price. So here we go. And the beauty of subqueries, like this at least, is I can run each piece. I can select that and hit run and go $89.95. And you can kind of recognize that that's returning a single number. Perfect. And now this query is going to say, show me the title and retail price of all books. Notice I have an S here that have that price of $89.95. So now when I run it, there happens to only be one book, but there's the title and there's the price. So this is an example of a subquery in a where clause. Next week we'll start learning about putting it in the having clause and the from clause and the select clause, but just today we're introducing the concepts. So let's do another one. So the question is, show me the computer books whose retail price is above average. So that kind of begs the question, what is the average price for books in the computer category? And I should have probably put that in this question here. I want computer books whose retail price is above average for computer books. Okay, so that's basically kind of two questions. And the first one is, well, what is the average retail price of computer books? So I'm going to go select average retail from books where category equal computer. And I can run that all by itself. So just that little piece I can run and I'll get a single number. There it is. That's the average retail price of computer books. So then I'm saying, well, now show me all the books whose price is above that. So it's very similar to the last one we did. I'm just saying, show me the title of the retail from books. Now I'll look at this where clause though. So basically I got where category equal computer and the retail is greater than the average retail. and I put that subquery in parentheses like that. And I know that that runs a single number. I just did it. And so we're saying retail is greater than 5280. So now when I run that, I'll get all the computer books whose retail price is above average. All right, we'll do one more example of a quick subquery in the where clause. And let's say your boss runs to you and say, hey, this customer, or I need to find all the orders placed by the customer who placed this order, right? So let's say there's a problem with this order, and so now we need to find who that customer is and take a look at all their other orders. So then the first question is, well, gee, who is the customer that placed that order? All right, so using the book database, I'm going to grab the customer number from orders that has that number, right? So all we have is the order number, and somehow we know we got a problem with it. So I run that, and I figure out, well, the customer who placed that order is 1007. So now show me all the other orders placed by that person, or placed by that customer. So how can I do that? I'll select the order number from orders where the customer number equals, and basically this is the 1007, right? When I run that, that's what I get. I get 1007. So now I'm saying show me all the orders placed by that person. So now I can select all of that, hit run, and I see there was only one other order. It's 1014. Of course, if I wanted this person's name and address, I could ask for that information in the select, and I'd have to join the orders table to the customer table, but that would still run just fine. So that's a quick overview of doing subqueries, basically a query within a query. Right now we're using it in the where clause, and next week we'll start trying to do a subquery out of the from, and we'll be putting them in a having clause.